Hey guys, welcome to RacerXOnline.com. Fox Raceway Factory Bikes here with Thomas Harris, the wrench for Super Chunk. They don't call him that anymore because he's kind of skinny now, but Chance Hymas used to call him Super Chunk. He was a chunky kid, great family. Obviously, one of the best teams in the paddock. I have a soft spot for Lars and the guys, so honestly, I have a soft spot for this guy too because he's a desert rat. He's at heart, he's a desert rat, so I like that. So Thomas Harris, wrenching for Chance Hymas. Give us some background on you, where you come from, how'd you get involved, how'd you get to Honda?
So I grew up in Southern California, racing off-road stuff.
Yeah,
and wasn't very good. So wasn't going to make any money at that. And then I went to MMI, and actually before I even graduated, I got a call. I knew some people on the team, and they needed a test guy. So I started there 6 years ago. Started here 6 years ago as a test guy. And
it's been that long.
Yeah, I've been here for a minute now. And then when Chance came over as an amateur, I was test guy and his guy at amateur races, building his amateur bikes and stuff. And then when he went pro, I went pro with him as a mechanic. So now I'm full-time mechanic with him for the last 2 years.
So the moral of the story is you got to know someone, I think, because
Yeah.
everybody that I've talked to says, I knew someone, but I worked, got my way in, but you still have to know someone.
Yeah, I mean, it helps to have a good work ethic and have people know that's what you're about, you know, that you're going to put in the hard work.
Prove, right?
Yeah, you got to prove yourself. And I mean, I started as a test guy, young kid, 20 years old, not getting paid very much, and just kind of had to prove myself to stick around, you know.
This is a factory bike video, but before we get into that, you almost have to prove your worth and not ask for a lot. I see a lot of kids now, hey, I need this amount of money. You're like, dude, you got to calm down. You got to like work your way into that, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as we know, this is a passion industry, and we're here because we love it, you know, so.
Yeah, you're not going to be rich making be a mechanic.
No, we're doing it to help these guys win, man.
Right. All right, Chance Hymas, number 48. I guess this is his first, call it his first full year, because he was on an abbreviated year last year.
Yeah, he only did 4 Supercross rounds. He wasn't even going to line up for Supercross at all last year, but he was riding so good, the team let him do it. And then outdoors last year was supposed to be his first, like, full season. Unfortunately, 4 rounds in, he tore his ACL and had a little bit of setback. So this year is our first full year, which is good.
So I had the pleasure of riding, not number 48 last year, but 96. Yep. One of the best times that I've ever had in my testing career. Is really good bike. So I guess we'll start from the top. How much different is this bike compared to 96 last year?
There is some similarities for sure. I mean, it's a factory Honda, so we kind of have a base of what works really well, you know. And the Lawrences spent a lot of time on this bike, and especially in 22 when this bike was brand new, they were both still on it. So they developed a lot of this package from the beginning, you know. And there's a lot of it we still use, but there's quite a few updates from then as well. I mean,
mostly engine or chassis? Or?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Yep, yeah.
All right, so a little bit for me, there's a lot of front side on this factory Honda 250. For you production CRF250R guys, you know that you lack a little bit of bottom end power. This thing does not suffer from bottom end power. This thing has a lot of snap, really responsive. So without getting involved into the engine that much, how much do you guys spend time on changing stuff for Chance in the engine department?
We have a lot of different options, and it's cool to have HRC be part of the program and kind of invested in the 250s a little bit now too. So getting some trickle down stuff or some
when you say options, when you say options, does it mean like pistons and hard parts inside, or what does that mean? Can you say?
Yes.
Okay, so we got to move that along.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope with these factory bikes, guys. Like, I can't ask a lot of questions. They can only say so much, so we're going to try to work our way around and try to get you the answers. But nonetheless, they have a lot of options within the side to say, okay, hey, I need a little bit more bottom end. Oh, we have this.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is he picky with this engine setup? And how much different is this SX setup to this?
We do change a little bit of the internal gearing.
Okay.
Final drive stays the same, but it's not massive, but it's pretty close to Supercross. It's a 250F. You're already trying to get everything out of it you can. So once you're there, you're kind of there, you know.
Do you guys change compression ratios and things like that in the piston for between SX MX, or does it stay the same?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Now, when I rode this at Washougal last year, there is a ton of front side. Then that thing revs for days. What he's talking about, the gearing inside, I noticed that second gear is super long. It's crazy how usable that second gear is. You guys work hard on your transmission ratios, man, and things that I noticed that, like, I can run second gear for a long time, don't have to shift to third. I can be lazy, or I can lug it in third. There's enough front side here to actually go in third gear. Is Chance more of a second gear or a third gear guy? Because you have all the data.
He's a little bit of a rever. Okay. Yeah, so he'll run third gear where he can, you know, but he likes to rev the bike out, and actually the gearing's changed a little bit since you've ridden it too. Okay. So it's even gotten better, another step better from when you rode it.
Okay, suspension. How much testing does he do on suspension? How much does he weigh?
He's about 155-ish, around there. We test a lot, just like everybody else in the industry. We did find a really good package last year, and it's pretty similar to that. A little bit of updates, you know, especially with his speed coming up this year and stuff. So,
is he a front-end steering guy, rear steering guy? Is he like ass end high, low?
He's always been like a front stiff guy. Okay. But he can steer with the rear or the front. He's kind of a neutral in between guy. I don't know how to describe it. Like he can do both.
Do you know his sag? What's he run for sag number? Pass?
103 to 105 depending on conditions.
Hey, we got something out of him, 103. Look at, and some of you guys out there watching, none of this is going to relate to your production motorcycle. Like, I want to ask this question. Stand by, watch this answer. Look at his face, close up when we ask the answer. What's the measurement from the swing arm pivot to the rear axle?
This is your favorite question to ask everyone.
Because I know the answer. I'm waiting for someone to actually give me the answer.
Pass.
See? They're not going to tell you. And you know what? It's not going to matter for you guys. Even if you did know it, it doesn't matter because your production bike is totally different than this. Yeah. But it's factory, man. This is all the things that we go through. All right. So he likes a front-end stiff bike. He's a fairly light kid. Mm-hmm. To me, he has a blend of finesse and some bulldog in him. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. What's he the most picky on?
He's not super picky. I mean, he likes his levers and bars where they are.
So you can adjust you can put it together and you get his bar set. Is he picky? Does he have to adjust them, or he's like, okay, you got it?
Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't.
What bar bend?
829.
839.
839, correct, sorry.
Oh, I'm a bar buff. I knew this, and I was testing them. Yeah. 839. You can't answer this, I feel like. What offset are we on? These are obviously HRC factory triple clamps, but what offset is he on?
It is a OEM offset triple clamp.
So that could be 22 millimeter with different races probably.
Pass.
There you go. So most of the time, like I said, these guys have 22, 24. Sometimes they go to a 24 offset in outdoors versus 22, or maybe even a 20 in Supercross. And then they have 0, 15, 30-degree races, which they play with. The Triumph guys don't play with that, but some do. So it just depends on the rider feel. So that's basically how that works. Okay, now I'm overlaying this whole thing. You're on a hydraulic clutch, which is really cool. That's something different that doesn't come until 2025s, which are announced today.
Yep, yeah, I actually got to go see the bike yesterday. This system is a little bit different than that one. This is a work system, but we've had really good luck with this hydro. And as you've seen, Joe and Chance get good starts last year and this year too with Chance. So our clutch system we're really happy with.
A couple different things from SX to MX. You guys run radiator fans?
No fans, okay. But we do have an oil cool option.
Okay, oil cooler option. And do you guys do anything other special to actually make it cooler during the outdoor summer months?
Nope, just the oil cooler when it's hot. I mean, it's going to be beautiful weather this weekend, so no need for it here, but when it's going to get hot and muggy back east and then Southwick or things like that, hard loads on the bike, we'll go to the oil cool option.
I didn't look at the front, and forgive me for not doing that before the video. Are we on an electric water pump, or what are we on? Oh.
Yep, right here.
So electric water pump, that'll help cool it down a little bit more and actually can make the bike more responsive from what I've tested in the past, so that actually is a really good option. Okay, final drive is what?
1351.
1351. You're on a 120 or a 110 rear?
110 rear.
110.
And we got the scoop on right now for ready for tomorrow morning deep practice. So yeah.
And oversized tank from SX, and if it's so, how much more does it hold?
It holds probably, each tank's a little bit different, but it's about 1.7 or a little bit more liters than the stock tank.
Is this made in Japan?
Yes, this is a HRC tank.
Simon can get a close-up of the welds of this gas tank. It's pretty nice. I can't believe how well this thing is welded up. It's really nice. And I really like the top of the cab, how Sano that is.
Yeah, it's a very nice piece from HRC. And then we actually have a carbon tank as well for like Southwick or some of the tracks that we use even more fuel than we will with this one.
Okay, last question for you. Your favorite part about this bike, either building it up or just looking at it, what's your favorite part?
Oh man, I try and put my attention to detail on everything. But probably my favorite part is our electronic system. Our guy Ricky Rock builds all of these. These are in-house.
Ricky Rock.
Ricky Rock, yeah.
That's his real name.
I forget.
That's his stage name.
That's his stage name. Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, our boy Ricky. He builds all these in-house data system as well as the main harness, and they're really, really nice pieces. I give him crap all the time because there's a lot of wires on these factory motorcycles these days with all the data, but it really does help us tune the bike and get the bike perfect for the rider, you know?
You guys haven't seen, man, the wire harness is something to look at. There's a lot going on, and to have a guy put all that together is got to be a scientist.
Oh yeah, he's a very smart dude, and he does a really good job for us.
One thing Chance is the hardest on about the bike. Is he hard on clutches?
He used to be really hard on clutches, but he's gotten a lot better. Yeah.
Is he grip hard? Does he tear stuff up? And anything that is major that people out there maybe can know about?
I mean, normal grip, normal wear on the bike. He's not too hard on anything besides the clutch. Like I was saying earlier, he was a little bit of a rever, so he gets the bike a little bit warmer than most people do, but nothing crazy.
All right, Chance Hymas, number 48, Super Chunk. If you're out there in the Outdoor Nationals, give him a holler. Say hi to Thomas as you walk by. And one tip to give an aspiring mechanic that wants to do this. One tip.
Bust your ass.
Bust your ass. See you on the next video.